Okay, Pops, we're back.
Yes, we are. God, your hair looks good.
We have, week over week, a new record for wholesale used car price increases.
You know, normally I'm really fond of records, but not particularly this one.
So if you clicked on this video and you're watching it, we'll cut to the chase. A 2% increase in wholesale used car prices week over week.
Yes.
So if you're new to the channel, if you've never heard of Your Auto Advocate, what we do, me and my dad, is every once in a while, especially on streams, but we used to make videos for it, we talk about market conditions.
Yes.
Dad, have you ever seen a used and new car market like you're currently seeing? What is going on?
Trying to keep it brief? No, I've never seen anything quite like this.
And you were in the business for how long?
Just 43 years. So, have I seen where there's been weekly increases in the wholesale value that dealers are paying for cars at the auctions? Absolutely, I have. Have I seen where the amount of week over week increase is as dramatic and as high as it's been for the last 8 or 9 weeks? That I've never seen.
And what's causing it? Is it the combination of the chip shortage, the stimulus checks? Like, is it just a perfect storm?
Well, that was a great movie, by the way. I don't know if you ever saw it.
You know I'm not a movie guy.
It was a George Clooney movie. It was really good, and a true story. It is a perfect storm between the semiconductor chip shortages that are causing great pain in the manufacturing end of new vehicles, and as it turns out, I just read today where I think Apple is constraining some of its products due to chip shortages.
Did you see? I think I was also reading I think it was GM, but it may have been some other manufacturers. They were building out their full vehicles, but just not including certain modules because they just don't have chips.
They don't have chips for them. So that what was normally standard equipment will no longer be standard equipment in some vehicles because they're taking out the modules that they can't get the chips for.
So you've got that going on.
Yes.
Then you have high demand.
And in my estimation, one of the reasons that we're seeing such a rapid increase in wholesale values is because you have major online players that are trying to, own the market. And those online players would be CarMax, Carvana, Vroom, Shift. That's pretty much it for the major online players. And what they're doing is they are literally paying or bidding these cars up to a retail level in order to get them, so that local dealer groups or local mom and pop dealerships who need used cars keep getting outbid at the auctions because they say to themselves, I can't pay retail for a car, pay the shipping to get it from the auction back to the dealership, actually recondition it before I put it on the lot to sell it to a customer, and then expect the customer to pay, several $1,000s above retail. So they're passing all together, and your big players are just scooping up all the cars, and it's creating a shortage.
So each week we do one or two live streams, and we get so many people telling us in the chat.
Only one or two? It seems like 2 to 3.
We do members-only live streams as well. But anyway, we get all these emails from people that bought cars 2-3 years ago, put a couple thousand, 5,000-10,000 miles on it, and now they're selling it to Carvana.
For more than they paid for it when it was brand new.
And so you bring up a really good point. So we have a supply shortage of new vehicles, which is increasing used vehicle demand.
Yes.
Then on the used vehicle side, demand is also high because of stimulus and different things like that. And then you also have the business model construct of the new players, i.e. Carvana, CarMax, Vroom, and Shift. They make money, selling the vehicle, but they make most of their money on what's called the loan portfolio, so the loans that they place, and on their extended warranty portfolio, or the vehicle service contract portfolio.
And when you consider that everything that they do is non-negotiable, from whatever the price they set that the people are willing to pay for the vehicles, to whatever the loan arrangements are that are non-negotiable, to whatever the extended service contracts are that are non-negotiable, and the dent and the ding and the gap and the whatever.
Their whole business model, though,
is back-end gross.
Well, but it breaks if they don't have cars to sell.
Yes.
So really, if you think about it, those big companies that we just talked about, they are the biggest buyers of vehicles in the United States.
Yes.
Unless you have a franchise dealer agreement, but that's for new cars. So they're the biggest buyers. So their whole model is predicated on buying inventory.
Yes.
Again, perfect storm. I think you agree as well. Eventually, we're going to see a correction here. Who knows when is one of the challenging aspects of this. I can't wait to see the Black Book report next week because we saw 2%. You know, like what's it gonna be next week? Is it going to set a new record?
Very well could be because last week the car segment went up 1.58%, and then this week it went up 1.99%. Which you think about that, and you can't have wholesale pricing going up 1.5% to 2% every week. Okay, in a 4-week month. You're looking at wholesale prices going up somewhere between 6 and 8%.
No, it's just not
month over month, and that is not really sustainable. And it's not sustainable for a number of reasons. If these dealerships have to buy the cars at a retail value and sell them significantly over retail, then the situation arises where the banks that would lend the money to the customer who wants to buy the car are either going to require more cash down from those customers to keep the vehicle or the loan amount within the loan-to-value ratios that banks use, or the banks are going to have to take a bigger risk and loan above the loan-to-value ratios that they prefer. Either way, it's going to cost people a lot more money.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's most certainly a seller's market, not a buyer's market.
Oh, absolutely.
And so if you're in a position to sell a car, we have actually we partnered. You always give me a hard time. We pay Black Book a literal, James, you can edit this one out, ton of money.
Or leave it in.
So that we have their data backing your auto advocate, so you can actually get the Black Book value for your trade-in.
It's amazing how you can partner with somebody as long as you're willing to pay them, as you say, a ton of money.
And the Black Book numbers are typically what the dealerships are using because there's also KBB and other things like that. But if you're in a position to sell a vehicle, run your Black Book report.
Yes.
Run your Carvana valuation. Run your CarMax valuation, which... Now they bought Edmunds, so we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
And run your Vroom. I don't think Shift has a national footprint, so you can't run a Shift report.
Probably not.
But you'll probably be surprised what that comes back with.
You want to scroll down a little bit, and we can take a closer look at what's happening in some of the car segments before we get to the truck segments?
Yeah, let's talk about cars, trucks, and we'll call it a wrap.
Okay.
We'll wrap it up.
Subcompact cars went up 1.98% week over week on a wholesale level for pre-owned cars at the auctions. But the biggest winners were compact cars that went up 2.45% and mid-size cars that went up 2.62%. That's in a week. Okay?
So on a Monday, your car's worth this, and on a Sunday, your car's worth $400 more.
That would be like having your money in a savings account. And Monday they're paying you 1/4 point for your for having money in the savings account, and by the end of the week the yield's up to 1.5%. So how can that continue? Now on the truck segments, the subcompact crossovers went up 2.64%.
Buick Encores, man.
Oh my God!
Demand.
Apparently they are, and I don't know why. Okay, but whoever's buying them at the auction is willing to pay an exorbitant amount of money to get them.
Yep.
Minivans, which are in short supply, on the new car side and the pre-owned side.
Well, it's driving up the value.
Went up 2.46%. Trucks as a whole went up, what was it, just under 2%
1.73%.
Okay, for the week. I mean, it's these are incredibly high or dramatic increases in wholesale values that
never seen before,
week over week. And I know that the retail prices are lagging behind the increases in the wholesale values to a certain degree.
We've had some people, Dad, that they ran market price reports and a vehicle looks like a pretty good deal. Then they run this, and for a used vehicle, and then they run the same VIN back in the Black Book trade-in valuation. And the Black Book trade-in valuation's like, yeah, if you owned this car and you traded it in, it would be literally what they're asking you to pay for it to buy it now because they're like a step behind. We actually ran into this. Do you remember when the initial kind of spike in prices happened about a year ago now?
Yes.
About 10 months ago. We talked to someone, I forget if it was Chip or someone else, who said V Auto couldn't keep up.
Chip.
Okay, and V-Auto is the industry tool that people use for velocity pricing. He's like, the data's changing too quick. It can't keep up. So I agree with you. The retail's lagging the wholesale.
Yes, and that's the beauty of Black Book. In
Updates
the information that we're able to get our hands on is updated nightly. So, yes.
Crazy times.
They really are. I'm glad I'm sitting on the sidelines. I'm neither buying nor selling.
If you like videos like this, let us know in the comments down below. Like I said, we do it in the streams, but we could also get back in the habit of doing the videos. So let us know. We can update next week as well.
Absolutely. We're here for, well, you.
Thank you, Pops.
Thank you, Hanson.